So I'm gonna finish my topiary tree. I keep running ahead and I forget to do any video, but what I did here was make a topiary ball. I just used a styrofoam ball from the dollar store. I covered it in silk leaves just off one of the picks with leaves on it. So I just hot glued leaves to it. Then I used one of these balls, or it was probably 2 or 3 actually, and it's just called Topiary ball from the Dollar Tree. So this is going to be the top of my tree, and I've already made this. I cut this apart and just glued the bits onto the ball. And it's pretty much that simple, nothing too complicated. So I thought this was the cutest little bug. I love birds, so it really appealed to me. This was the big ticket item of the whole thing. I went and paid $4 for the sweet little bug, but isn't it cute? And it's just from the Dollarama actually. So very nice. So I needed a stick. So I went outside and I just cut a lilac branch off one of my lilacs. So this has been cut for about 5 minutes. I should do a screenshot of the outside because there's about, I don't know, a foot of snow out there, and it's March. So anyway, I decided no harm in cutting this at this point, so I'm gonna just go with this. So, oh, I glued Oasis foam in the bottom. That's already in there, so I know I'm gonna have to put something in there to give it more stability, but my foam's in. So let's give this a shot. Which is the thick end anyway? I think it's this side. Okay. Where do I want it? Robert, what do you think? Is that a good height? He says yes. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a finger here and mark it. That's where it's gonna get cut, right there. There we go. And I'm just gonna put it through there. I'm kind of hoping that's gonna work. What do you think?
Looks good.
Looks good. I think it's not bad.
Yeah.
My first topiary tree, and isn't that cute? I went out in the garage and I found a piece of cardboard, and I'm just gonna trace the top and cut it out and basically make a little bit of a stabilizer for my tree. Put a slice in to get it around my tree and put a hole in it, nothing too fancy. I'm going to be putting this outside under a covered porch, so it's not going to be exposed to the elements like the rain, maybe the wind, but not the rain or snow. So I don't know if you can get a shot of that, but hey, that worked out pretty good. Or at least I thought it did. It's a little wobbly. I don't know if you can see that. Now I'm just going to maybe put some hot glue in there and then add some sheet moss. I wish it was a little bit heavier. You know what would be great? There's some sand. If you have rocks and sand, heck of a great idea. Okay, so I picked some rocks for painting rocks in the fall and washed them. So I have rocks in the house. I've used them a couple of times for different projects already, if you can imagine that. Anyway, this is going to give me some stability so it doesn't blow over in the wind. This is floral moss, and I don't know if it's Dollar Store, Dollar Tree, or Dollarama. I shop them all. You got some. Just put a couple dollops of glue just to hold my cardboard in place. Oh, and it's so messy working with this moss, eh? I never touched this stuff before. What a mess. I need like a craft room. And every time I do a craft, I have to clean off my kitchen table. What a mess. My family puts up with it, but I don't really like it. impressed myself right now. Oh, look at that. What do you think?
It's good.
Thanks. I think it's fun. So I'll show what it looks like out in the porch after, you know, I washed the porch and set out my spring decor. So I'll show you what it looks like outside. I'm just getting ready for spring, so here's step number 1. And I wanted to add some topiary animals. And so what I decided to do is cover these with moss. So I found basically these 2 things at the dollar store. What I looked for was I got the largest shape I could get. So these were the 2 largest items. So this is the biggest bird I think I've ever seen. So it was already partly green. So that's why I picked this one, because it was green. I'm going to paint in both totally green and then cover them with floral moss from Dollarama as well. So I think it's going to look really cute, really nice little accents to my front porch. Here we go. We're going to cover these 2 and see what we get. We'll see how we do with that, hey? What I was looking for on this animal, or this bunny, is I would look for something that had very defined ears that were sticking up so that when it's covered with the moss, you could actually tell what the creature is, really. You know, that's why I went with the bird with the upright tail, fairly large size beak, I think. So here you can see I just painted on the bunny and the bird with glue and just pressed on moss. I kind of shredded it a little bit and then pressed it on. And then just set it aside to dry, and then I hit it with some hairspray just to secure it so it wouldn't blow off all my moss. So there it is. Here's my little bunny set outside on my front porch along with the little bird, and it just adds to the decor and the style I was going for. Put out my little bunny. I decided to ignore the snow, you'll see it, it's there, but I went ahead and set my front porch for spring.